Noah and the Ark, when the world ended. What would you do if the world was ending? Imagine if the sky grew dark and angry. Imagine if the rain began to fall and never ever stopped. And what if only you could save everyone? What if you were the only one who could build a boat big enough to hold the future? This is a story about a time like that. It is a story about a man who was given a very big job. He had to save the world. It was a task that seemed impossible, a burden too heavy for one person to carry alone. He would need a lot of help and a lot of faith. The world had become a very noisy place. People did not listen to good things anymore. They shouted, they argued all day long. They did not share their food, their homes with others. Everyone wanted more for themselves, less for their neighbors. Kindness was a forgotten word, like a song no one remembered how to sing. But in this loud and angry world, there was one quiet man. His name was Noah. Noah was different from everyone else around him. He was a good man who always tried to do the right thing. He spoke kindly to his family. He spoke kindly to his neighbors. Even when they were not kind back to him, he listened when others would not. He still looked at the stars and felt wonder in his heart. While the world spun in a storm of its own making, Noah was a calm and steady rock. He believed in goodness, even when he was the only one who seemed to remember it. One day God spoke to Noah. The voice was not loud like thunder, but soft like a gentle whisper in his heart. God told Noah that he was very sad. He was sad to see the world so full of hate and anger. He saw that people had filled the beautiful world with ugliness. God decided that he had to wash the world clean. He would send a great flood, a rain so powerful it would cover everything. So Noah began to work. He went to the forest with his sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. They began to cut down the tall, strong gopher trees. Chop, chop, chop went their axes, day after day. The work was very hard. The sun was hot on their backs. Their muscles ached from lifting the heavy logs. They had to saw the wood into long, straight planks. It was a slow and tiring job. Each piece of wood had to be measured perfectly, just as God had told them. They worked from the moment the sun rose until it set in the evening, never stopping for very long. As the ark started to take shape, people from the nearby towns came to watch. They stood with their arms crossed. "What are you doing, old man? Are you building a house on dry land? There is no water here. There is not a cloud in the sky. You are crazy." Then a strange and wonderful thing began to happen. The laughing stopped. From the forests and the fields, animals started to appear. They were coming from every direction. Big animals, small animals, tall animals, short animals. They were not running or fighting. They were walking slowly and peacefully, all heading straight for Noah's big wooden ark. They came in pairs, a male and a female of every kind. It was the sound of wings flapping. Birds of every color filled the sky, flying toward the ark. Noah and his family opened the giant door wide. There was no fear or fighting among them. When the last pair of animals was safely inside, Noah and his family went in too. He stood at the entrance for one last moment, looking out at the world. Then with a great deep sound, the huge door of the ark swung shut. It closed them in, safe and sound. Now all they could do was trust. For 7 days they waited inside the ark, and then it began. For 40 days the flood kept coming on the earth. The waters rose and covered the mountains. Every living thing that moved on land perished. But Noah never lost faith. He trusted God even when the world was drowning in chaos. But God remembered Noah. When the waters receded, Noah built an altar to the Lord. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." The story of Noah's Ark reminds us that obedience and faith can save generations. Even when the world seems lost, God's promise still stands.